So with the release of Blossoming Fate, we have a free collab deck giveaway again. Now we usually get this at the start of a new set. So in this video, I'm going to be going through the 4 choices because I want you to make sure that you kind of, pick the most efficient thing that's right for you. As I always say with these things, if you've got a strong preference in terms of lore, then go for it. But in this video, I'm going to talk about what the deck does, how it basically scales, what the quality of the legendary cards are in there, and give it an overall score. Hopefully that will be enough guidance for you. All right, so let's jump on in. So you click claim over here, and it usually tells you sort of the difficulty over here. So the ramp dragoncraft first is rated as quite easy. As you click on the little eye here, it shows you the full deck. Now, basically what this deck does is it gives you the infrastructure for a couple of things. The first thing is ramp, as you'd expect, right? So you've got in there 3 copies of the dragon sign. This is pivotal in almost every single dragon deck. And also one of the legendaries is Zui, which gives you the ability to also ramp on turn 5. And so for that, I would say that these are, really, really solid choices in a kind of free deck. And in addition to that, you've actually got really nice kind of early game removal. You've got a copy of the new sloth of the crest petal, which is great for removing early minions. And it's really, really common to see like the 3 copies of Call of Megalorca and the 3 Ocean Riders as well. And that's the other thing about this package, is that it's actually giving you the Merman package, right? The Megalorca package. So you've got the Seasoned Mermans, 3 of those. You've got 2 Neptunes in the golds, and you've got the Megalorcas as well. And even the Jellyfish as well, the new Jellyfish Dancer, which is actually a pretty good 4-drop, right? Because you can play this and the Megalorca, and this thing then gets Rush and Bane. So I actually feel like this is a really, really solid beginner free deck. So especially if you are new or you're just starting out in dragoncraft, I think this would be an excellent choice. You, of course, get to play some of the new top-end cards as well in the Iron Mace Dragon and the new Ernst's Governing Justice. So overall, I think this just works out of the box quite well, but it's also going to scale really, really well as well. Now, all of the free decks, I should have said at the beginning, they all give you 2 legendary cards, 4 gold and 19 silver, okay? So there's no advantage between the decks in that sense. However, what really matters is the quality of the legendaries and to some degree the golds, because you're going to get the other cards very easily and very quickly anyway. Now, I would say that the Ernst and the Zui are both pretty good quality, pretty good quality for this type of deck. So in other words, as you scale and your collection builds out, you're still going to use them. So yeah, for me, I think this deck's very good. I'd give it overall probably a 4.5 stars. Like, I think this is definitely a great beginner deck. Yeah, you happy days, go ahead and get that one. Next up, we got mid-range Abyss. You can see they're scoring this as a sort of middle difficulty, 2 out of 3 stars. Now, I think this is actually, when you look at the composition, it's more of an aggro build, right? Lots and lots of kind of tokens. The new Tyrannical Fist, which does 3 damage. And again, if you're the aggro deck, your opponent's going to have lowest defense. It's 3 damage to face. It's really, really, it's really good, actually. I think this is quite a good kind of aggro deck. If you like that style of play, you just want to have quick games, beat your opponent down and win quick. But in terms of it being a mid-range deck, like, I don't know, I feel like it's a little bit mixed. You tend to find that in true mid-range Abyss, people drop a lot of the kind of like aggro support. And even things like the legendary, you've got Aragavi, which is seen in the aggro Abyss. It's a good card, but it's not necessarily seen in the mid-range version. You do get a copy of the new Miltia and Luz, and it's yet to be seen whether this fits best into an aggro or more of a sort of grindy control on mid-range deck. So we don't know about that one yet. And it is missing some of the quality top end like Cerebrus. So overall, I think this card's not quite as good as the Dragon. This deck's not quite as good as the Dragon one. I'd probably give this like 3 stars out of 5. It does have some nice things as you grow your collection, like things like Vasaraga, the Castle of Entwining, allowing you to pivot. But it does feel a little bit more mixed than the other one. Next up, we've got Pixie Forest. This is shown as a high difficulty curve. Now, I actually think this is slightly better than mid-range Abyss. I'm actually going to give this a 3.5 stars or a 7 out of 10, something like that. And the reason is that it does 2 things. It gives you a really solid basis for a Pixie or a Tempo Fairy type of deck, which I think has improved with this set, by the way. But it also gives you the kind of Killer Roaches in there, which is essentially the best finisher card in the entire class. So And also that's in a class where you don't need many legendaries. So this is, like I say, probably slightly better, more beginner friendly, and a bit more synergistic as well. What you're doing with this deck is producing a shed load of tempo with the fairies, and then being able to do two things. Put a lot of damage on face, or use things like killer roaches like mini combos in here to kind of get your opponent's health down. Not necessarily finish them in one turn, but get the health down. And there's some new combos in here. So once you've played Aria, don't forget all fairies can go face. And then on turn 10, you can do things like the Battle Warden Huntsman. Whenever an extra pixie enters the field, deal 1 damage. This is another way of doing chip damage to face. And then, of course, if the fairy can attack face as well, that essentially becomes like 2 damage. The combo on 10 I was talking about is the Battledore Woodsman. You play this for 5. And then you play the Spirit Skipper, and this produces 3 fairies. You can actually get more if you want to evolve it. But just with those 2, even without an evolve, you're basically putting four fairies down. So that's going to do 4 damage to face, and then you actually attack face if you've played Aria and got the crest, and that does 8 damage. So really nice finisher. I think this deck's got legs, actually. Yeah, 3.5 out of 5 for me. And last but not least, we have Spell Rune. Now, this is... I would say pick this one if you're pretty all in on the spell boost archetype. Generally with Rune, what happens is the cards aren't quite as interchangeable between the different archetypes. So unlike the Abyss one and the Dragon one, I think this is, you're kind of locked in, right, to playing spell boost. Now, it's not a bad set if you are playing spell boost. You've got things like the Runeblade Conductor, which you would drop as you get better cards, but this can produce a bit of a win con for you, growing every time you play spell boost. And you do get some pretty nice quality legendaries here in the Womdus. You'd want to flesh this out and get the extra 2. But basically what this does is grow and become ginormous with every time you spell boost. And then you can create a board where you basically play 3 copies of Blaze Destroyer for 0 cost, because they get their cost reduced every time you spell boost. And then you put a barrier on the entire board with Womdus and your opponent can't answer it. In addition to that, you get the Ara Dawn Blossom, which is the new 10-costed legendary, which again also reduces in cost every time you spell boost, and it can deal 10 damage. So you're able to play a really nice Womdus combo straight out of the box, which is really, really nice. And you just obviously add the extra Womduses and you'd be into a pretty decent deck there. So yeah, overall, I think this is probably a 3.5 stars. So overall, guys, my pick would be Ramp Dragon if I was saying which is the best deck overall. But don't get me wrong, I do think that none of them are terrible as like start sets, and it's really about just figuring out like which style you want to play. If obviously you're really interested in playing Spell Boost Rune, then you've got a great starting block there. But I do think that the Ramp Dragon is going to be more versatile, and the cards will survive better as you scale. That's it from me, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and check out this video next.